It's strange what the mind can digest and what it resists. I had just survived the most surreal summer imaginable, skipping back to bygone centuries, taming invisible monsters, falling in love with my grandfather's time-arrested ex-girlfriend, but only now, in the unexceptional present, in suburban Florida, in the house I'd grown up in, was I finding it hard to believe my eyes. Here was Enoch, splayed upon our beige sectional, sipping Coke from my dad's Tampa Bay Buccaneers tumbler. Here was Olive, unstrapping her lead shoes to float ceilingward and ride circles on our fan. Here were Horace and Hugh in our kitchen, Horace studying the photos on the fridge door, while Hugh rustled for a snack. Here was Claire, both mouths slack as she gazed at the great black monolith of our wall-mounted television. Here was Millard, my mother's decor magazines rising from the coffee table and splitting in midair as he skimmed them, the shape of his bare feet imprinted into our carpet. It was a mingling of worlds I'd imagined 1,000 times, but never dreamed possible. But here it was, my before and after, colliding with the force of planets. Millard had already tried to explain to me how it was possible they could be here, apparently safe and unafraid. The loop collapse that had nearly killed us all in Devil's Acre had reset their internal clocks. He didn't quite understand why, only that they were no longer in danger of sudden catastrophic aging if they stayed too long in the present. They would get older one day at a time, just like I did, their debt of years seemingly forgiven, as if they hadn't spent most of the 20th century reliving the same sunny day. It was undoubtedly a miracle, a breakthrough unprecedented in peculiar history, and yet how it had come to be was not half as amazing to me as the fact that they were here at all. That beside me stood Emma, lovely, strong Emma, her hand entwined with mine, her green eyes shining as they scanned the room in wonder. Emma, whom I'd so often dreamed about in the long, lonely weeks since my return home. She wore a sensible gray dress that fell below the knee, hard, flat shoes she could run in if she had to, her sandy hair pulled back into a ponytail. Decades of being depended on had made her practical to the core, but neither the responsibility nor the weight of years she carried had managed to snuff the girlish spark that lit her so brightly from the inside. She was both hard and soft, sour and sweet, old and young. That she could contain so much was what I loved most about her. Her soul was bottomless. "Jacob?" She was talking to me. I tried to reply, but my head was mired in dreamy quicksand. She waved at me, then snapped her fingers, her thumbs sparking like struck flint. I startled and came back to myself. "Hey," I said. "Sorry." "Where'd you go?" "I'm just—" I waved as if raking cobwebs from the air. "It's good to see you, that's all." Completing a sentence felt like trying to gather a dozen balloons in my arms. Her smile couldn't mask a look of mild concern. "I know it must be awfully strange for you, all of us dropping in like this. I hope we didn't shock you too badly." "No, no. Well, maybe a little." I nodded at the room and everyone in it. Happy chaos accompanied our friends wherever they went. "You sure I'm not dreaming?" "Are you sure I'm not?" She took my other hand and squeezed it, and her warmth and solidness seemed to lend the world some weight. "I can't tell you how many times over the years I've pictured myself visiting this little town." For a moment, I was confused, but then, of course, my grandfather. Abe had lived here since before my dad was born. I'd seen his Florida address on letters Emma had kept. Her gaze drifted as if she were lost in a memory, and I felt an unwelcome twinge of jealousy, then was embarrassed for it. She was entitled to her past, and had every right to feel as unmoored by the collision of our worlds as I did. Miss Peregrine blew in like a tornado. She had taken off her traveling coat to reveal a striking jacket of green tweed and riding pants, as if she'd just arrived on horseback. She crossed the room, tossing out orders. "Olive, come down from there. Enoch, remove your feet from the sofa." She hooked a finger at me and nodded toward the kitchen. "Mr. Portman, there are matters which require your attention." Emma took my arm and accompanied me, for which I was grateful. The room had not quite stopped spinning.